When Connor was a little over 1 year old, I was playing with him on a blanket in the floor in the nursery. He crawled off the blanket and down the hall. I was waiting for him to crawl back in the room, and it was taking a long time. So I was just getting up to go check on him, and he came around the corner walking, the first time he had ever walked, and laughing. I couldn't help but think that that was his first joke, to round that corner on two legs. And that's when I knew he would grow up to be the only gay comedian in New York.
People ask me, how do you do it? How do you keep hustling and grinding in the city that never sleeps? How do you stand out in a city of one and onlys? The one and only Broadway, the one and only Central Park, the one and only Empire State Building, the tallest building in the world. To those people, I only have one answer. I'm Connor Creagan.
And you thought Pride was over, bitches. It's just begun. How we doing? Good?
We first met Connor about 2 years ago.
Yes, and he was amazing. I mean, the first time I saw Connor, I was immediately hard.
I mean, we all were. Everyone was.
Text me back, okay? That's all.
He said things that were true, you know? Like, it takes most comics years to find their voice, but Connor just had it immediately.
Probably the hardest part about growing up in a small town, though, is being gay.
He was killing. If you were at a mic or a show, you just prayed you didn't have to go up after him. I would rather eat glass than follow Connor Creagan.
Yeah, Connor was something else, all right. He was the only gay comedian in New York.
I've been in the game for a little over 2 years now, and it's so funny to look back to when I started. From day one, I would do whatever it took to speak my truth. For me, comedy has always been about carving a path, first for yourself and then just for me, for myself.
Connor was doing, when I tell you the craziest, I mean the craziest stuff on stage. Like getting up and like, hey, how's it going? I mean, how do you follow that?
And those risks he took paid off big time. Producers just started booking him like crazy. He was doing something like 4 bar shows a month. It's unheard of.
Being the only gay comedian in New York, he had freedom. He could talk about things people just don't talk about.
You know, as a gay person, I'm contractually obligated to love culture. It's like, I didn't choose this life, it chose me, huh?
Back to my old dojo, if you will, kind of my laboratory. This is where I come to kind of, you know, work on more high concept stuff that audiences aren't quite ready for, you know. My process is kind of a unique one where, you know, I'll take a general idea of what I think is funny and then just kind of write it down, practice it, and then just do that over and over and over again.
The guy just blew up. Audiences were helpless.
Connor had this energy that you don't expect new comics to harness so quickly. Did it rub some people the wrong way? Sure. But did he care? What do you think?
Sometimes for dessert, I just have strawberries.
It's like the only thing he can't do is bomb. His comedy makes you wonder, should I even be doing this?
What he did for comedy is immeasurable.
You could tell he felt invincible on stage.
And he had the guts to do it all while gay.
The word iconic and legendary and paradigm shifting have been thrown around when describing me, and everyone says, don't let it go to your head, but I mean, look at me. I know that one day I'll be in the Hall of Fame of comedy with the comedians that I grew up with, the comedians I learned from. My Uncle Jeff, Carlin, Mitch Whispers, Petey Salami, Cosby. That time my middle school librarian farted. Crystal with a K from The Bachelor. Oh, the twins from The Bachelor in Paradise.
When the video came out, everything changed.
I guess good times don't last forever.
Wasn't the Connor I knew.
When you pay someone with such raw, unbridled talent only in drink tickets, something bad is bound to happen.
Connor just didn't like it when there were other gay people.
All right, so I heard somebody the other day say, oh man, you know what? I actually wish that I were gay. Because that way...
Ha! Gay thoughts. Good one. No. Original. Good. Keep going.
Why don't you just let somebody else talk for a minute, man?
Fuck you, homo.
What the fuck did you just say to me? Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm Connor Creagan, bitch.
It was like someone threw a jar of acid on my identity. I just snapped.
One time I asked Connor what he would do if there was another gay comic in New York, and he slapped me. People like to act that they didn't see this coming. We did see it coming. There was just nothing we could do to stop it.
I'm the most self-aware bitch in this town, and I'm the most gay one, so you better step the
You're
fuck
having
up.
a meltdown right now?
I'm not having a meltdown. You don't know anything about me, bitch.
Alright, you have to be funny to be a fucking comic, so you better get the fuck out of my town, alright? You go fuck yourself. You think this is a meltdown?
Fuck you, you fucking faggot! Look at her, bitch!
That was my rock bottom. While it was pretty great to have that BuzzFeed piece about me, I still had to make amends with people. I felt like I had betrayed my fans, and I had to reckon with that. Even though it bruised my pride, I decided to make a formal public apology so people would know how truly sorry and embarrassed I was.
You could tell the apology was coming from an honest place. He sort of addressed the larger problem, too. Like, he found a way to apologize not just for himself, but for all of us.
That apology took balls, like big brass stones, you know what I mean? To be so vulnerable that you could change everyone's mind, I mean, that's incredible.
It was a very eye-opening moment for me in particular. I remember thinking, like, wow, he is human, and humans make mistakes.
The bigger you are, the harder you fall. You know, that's what they say. And, you know, Connor fell pretty hard, but you know what? He swallowed his pride, and he swallowed his gay pride and got back out there.
You know, I think when I first started, people were intimidated by me. Like I was this bad boy comedy savant. But that's just not me. I'm one of the guys. Comedians forget how relatable and laid back I am. I hope that my apology reminds everyone of that. I hope people aren't afraid to approach me and say, hey, you changed my life.
Yeah, I don't know if the apology was that great.
It was easily the most meaningful thing I've ever done as a person or as an artist. For someone as confident as I am, it can be challenging to be that vulnerable.
I'm not surprised that Connor snapped. Navigating the industry is tough enough as it is. But being gay and white, Jesus, I don't envy him.
After that Facebook post, Connor was back. He was performing again. He was coming into the apartment to do our
My podcast. But something wasn't right. There was still one more thing I had to do.
That one smelled like somebody's shit in it, so I'm gonna get these.
It's always darkest before dawn, you know? I realized that I was the only gay comic in New York, and that meant I had no one to share my success with. I was a king without a court, which is why I started my own comedy school exclusively for gay comedians. It's going to be great. We're going to have classes from how to be funny as a woman to the N-word, how and when to use it. Also, classes cost $400. But that's what comedy is to me, you know, giving back, filling a hole that's inside of all of us, right? As a comedian, I fill your hole with jokes, and then as an audience, you fill my hole with laughter. So I'm kind of filling your hole, you fill my hole. Not sure, I'll explain. So this is you, I'm me, and so I'm kind of just like, filling your hole with jokes! And then as the audience, you're kind of filling my hole with laughter. And I'm like, my hole, it's so, you're full, it's full. And that's what comedy is. Oh, how much time do I have?